little bit. Phone is cutting out, and we'll see how much we can get here. Welcome to this session on promoting extension. They come for the news, they stay for the programming. We'll have here this session is Beth Stuever and Megan Hawking. I'll turn it over to you again. Reminder that the stream. Speakers will repeat questions as they possibly can whenever we get down to that part. So with that, welcome Beth and Megan.
Thank you, and thanks for having us this morning. We're going to give you a little flavor of some things that we're trying to do differently at Michigan State University Extension. Learned something this morning, and I want to see what your reaction is during Dave Gray's presentation. There was a question at the end that we used to be high touch and now we're high tech. How many of you think those two things are mutually exclusive? Oh, good. No hands, because I don't think so either. And I think that's one of the things we're trying to prove by the types of things that we're doing, is that you can be high tech and also be high touch. So we're going to go through things pretty fast this morning because we don't have a ton of time. The good news is Meg and I are around for the next couple days, and we're going to leave you some information at the end so you can get in touch with us. So this will hopefully kind of get the conversation started. Here's the problem that we came up with. First off, we were facing budget reductions, layoffs, and we were challenged by a legislature to do more with less. Is that an unfamiliar story to anybody in the room? Didn't think so. Everybody's kind of facing the same thing. So our problem was, how do we help people continue to feel connected to Extension when decreased funding limits educators' ability to make one-on-one connections? That was the problem that we were looking at. We started with something called Msu Extension News. We call it the newest information and research from Michigan State University Extension in one convenient online location updated daily. Some of our educators call it a pain in the rump because what they're being asked to do is to supply 2 educational articles to the organization every month that we then, in A&R Communications, we then put on our website and get as much value out of that as possible, trying to reach an extended audience. Field and campus staff an efficient way to share their information quickly and broadly. Doesn't have to be a one-on-one connection, doesn't have to be a meeting. You never have to see the person necessarily, but it starts that conversation. And improving clientele's access to related information. In other words, you Google something, you Google your question, you come to the Extension website, you find an answer, and then you start looking around and maybe you see some other answers. And also bringing new people into the Extension family. And that wasn't just because it's something that we wanted to do. We were actually mandated by the legislature to increase our connections by 3% every year. As that grows over time, that can be quite a challenge. This is what we started with. So keep in mind, Director Kuhn just winced in the back row. No matter how bad your Extension website may look right now, at least it's not this. This is our old Extension portal, which we now refer to as the P word because it's considered a swear word at Michigan State University now. It was where information went to die. It was not searchable very well. There was a lot of good information there, but nobody ever got to it. This is what we look like now. Had to choose a screen cap from when Obama was on campus signing the Farm Bill. Yay, Michigan State. But this gives you a flavor of what our front page looks like now. Constantly updated information. That banner, there are 3 rotating banners. They change constantly. Our events change constantly. And the big story that you see there, we call that our front pager. That changes every 1 to 2 weeks. This is what it looks like when you get into the site a little bit. You'll see down the middle, kind of halfway down the bottom on this particular slide, is where our news starts. Those are educator-written articles, not the scholarly articles you see in journals, but articles of information that people can use. On the right, events that are related to that. Megan will talk more about that later. Programs that are related to this content. And then on the left, other programs that are or other topics that are closely related to it as well. And this is what our website traffic looks like. With the old portal system that we had, the last year of the portal, so when it was most mature, we had about 60,000 hits in a year. In the last 30 days, we've had more than 200,000 hits. And those are page views. So people are finding us and people are coming to us. And we can talk later if you have questions about how we analyze that data. What you see up here in the purple and green is really important too. 75% new visitors, bringing new visitors to Extension for answers, for scientifically valid answers, instead of answers they may find elsewhere on Google. So how did we do that? How did we get them there? A couple different things. This is something that we call our digest. Just so you know, this is a truncated version, so I could get it all on one slide. They're really electronic newsletters. We chose to call them digests. I won't tell you how much I regret that now. But that's what they are. It contains our upcoming events. Up top, there are usually 4 to 5 of them, of things that are related to this content. Then it contains 4 to 5 of our articles that are written by educators related to the content. Those go out once or twice a month. We have 60 of them. So the good news is you can come into the website, you can sign up for this. If you're at a trade show, we'll show you how to use your smartphone to get signed up for these digests. The bad news is if you're interested in 8 different topic areas, you'll get 8 different digests. Megan's going to talk about something later that is our next phase of this with a constituent relationship management system that we hopefully have somewhere in our future where we can streamline that so you'll get all the news you want in one single digest. The other thing we're doing differently is we're thinking differently about news. We used to use a shotgun approach. An educator would maybe call and say, I have an issue I want people to know about. In A&R Communications, we would maybe write a press release about it, maybe work with media about it. But with those press releases, it was a shotgun approach. We sent it out to a bunch of people, and then we crossed our fingers and hoped that they picked it up. Now we have all this good, rich content. So for example, this is a package we sent out around Valentine's Day. A package of 3 different articles. You can read what they're about right there on screen. Packaged them together and sent them to media that we thought are going to be focusing on Valentine's Day. We do this around all the major holidays, how to choose a Christmas tree, how to eat healthy at Christmas time, et cetera, but we package them together so people, and we've seen media in Michigan use that entire package, and maybe they'll give us a double truck or something like that in traditional media. So our news isn't just going to the website and staying there. We're pushing it out in many different ways. The other thing we're using is social media. About 8 months ago now, we hired someone whose job is social media. Before, we were all doing it off the sides of our desk. And we had about 4 or 5 people doing it, and we were doing okay, but now we have someone who focuses on it. So you see an example here. We're from Michigan, lots of snow days this year. And this was an article that one of our educators had written about connecting with your children and keeping boredom at bay when they're home from school a lot. And as you can kind of take a look at the analytics, we see or the insights, we see that people are looking at the article and then they're clicking over to the website as well. So again, just a way to extend the reach of the work that we're already doing. I'll let Megan talk about this one in particular.
When it came to events management and posting events, getting our county staff and others to put their events out on social media, it was hit or miss. All or nothing. You might see 32 hits on some 4-H event, and you might see nothing about small animal ruminant nutrition. By creating a system that we were pushing things through, it gave us an opportunity to work with our communications unit to do a better job at social media. We've learned that we get 1 or 2 chances with an event to get it out there and get it in front of people. If it's a short timeline, you get 1 chance, 1 hit on social media in order to get that pickup. If you have a longer time frame, you might get 2, you might get 3, but that's all there is. So it's very important how you use that social media and how we work back and forth as a team to make sure that we're pushing the right kind of content out there as we need to. As we move into the next phase of that, We kind of have, okay, we have communication, we have events. They weren't being put together. They weren't being connected unless it was, oh, hey, send a press release about this event. So we were able to develop a system, and we were able to look at this both from an internal and external standpoint. As Beth mentioned, this was driven by budget, but it really was something we needed to move to anyways. We didn't have a great web presence with what events we had going on. People couldn't find out what we were doing. You might be able to call the local county office. Very easily find things. We've been able to change that with the development of an events management system. We've been able to increase our web presence dramatically. People have the ability to register and pay online very easily from a smartphone, from a tablet, from whatever they want to do, wherever they're at. They can click through an article, click on something to click on an event. When they put together their plans of work to know what we need to do to push out those events. The internal impact, more efficient registration, management by moving bulk work of the event from the educators and support staff to an events management staff that really were experts in this area, still providing that support to those teams. Improved data for reporting. We didn't used to know what was going on. Now we offer 3 free hours of support per event. So those educators that are out there trying to do these events have a support network to help them. We also increased the connection through those plans of works, which really has dramatically changed the platform we look at. We're working to put together an event catalog, program catalog of what we offer throughout Extension. And by being able to look at those plans of work and put that catalog together, we're able to create those connections. Beth and I had kind of said, okay, what does this look like from a staffing standpoint? These are kind of the data and then the